The teachings and the preaching of Jesus Christ were revolutionary and quite advanced for his time. Remember that he challenged the established norms and traditional interpretations of the law, and often finding himself in conflict with the Pharisees, with the religious leaders and the guardians, the so-called guardians of the tradition. In today's gospel, people ask Jesus why his disciples did not fast. His answer was simple. Do people fast at a wedding party? Imagine you are invited to a wedding party, buffet table, and pagkatapos sasabihin mo lang, I am on diet, nagpa-fasting ako. Sabihin sa iyo ng kinasal, huwag ka na sanang pumunta. Weddings are supposedly moments of joy, moments filled with joy. They are moments of celebration. Except kapag iniisip mo yung pagkakautang mo because of this wedding feast. But wedding ceremonies are supposedly moments of celebration, moments of joy. So to put it simply, that is what being with Jesus is like. He wants us to be happy and celebrate life that comes with knowing Jesus. It is not about following strict rules, regulations, and interpretations of the law, but it is about being happy with Jesus Christ. It is about experiencing the joy of knowing Him. Pope Francis, in his apostolic exhortation Evangelii Gaudium, states, "The joy of the gospel fills the hearts and lives of all who encounter Jesus. Those who accept his offer of salvation are set free from sin, sorrow, inner emptiness, and loneliness. With Christ, joy is constantly born anew." End of quote. That is why he keep on insisting, ang mga Kristiyano dapat masayahing Kristiyano. Ang mga seminaristang laging nakasimangot ay malungkot na seminarista at mukhang walang bukasyon na seminarista. Ang isang Kristiyanong laging nakasimangot ay against sa kanyang vocation as a Christian. On the second part of the gospel, Jesus talks about new wine and the old wineskins. Simply put, trying to force something new into something old does not work. The old wineskins will burst and the new wine will be wasted. As we all know, Jesus' teachings and actions disrupted the status quo and challenged the established religious authorities and the old religious practices. His message of love, compassion, and inclusivity, along with his reinterpretation of the law, especially the law of the Sabbath, and the claim of divine authority, were seen as a threat to the existing power structure and led to numerous conflicts with the so-called guardians of traditions. This is also usually the source of conflict between parents and their children, between the old generation and the new generation, especially when they start to say, noong panahon namin, etc., etc., etc. Noong panahon namin, naglalakad lang kami papuntang school. Noong panahon namin, 5 piso lang yung baon namin. Noong panahon namin, hindi kami nagsiselfone. Ang sagot ng mga kabataan, siyempre, nung panahon nyo, hindi pa uso yung tricycle. Siyempre, nung panahon nyo, hindi pa uso yung cellphone. Kaya, this is usually the source, the old and the new wineskin. The old wine and the new wineskin. The new wine and the old wineskin. The source of conflict noong panahon namin. Of course, medyo OA lang din naman yung ibang kabataan in misinterpreting also yung noong panahon namin. Baka naman naglalabas lang ng kwento ang mga matatanda, kaya nila sinasabing noong panahon namin. Noong panahon namin, gagawa kami ng thesis, typewriter lang ang gamit namin. So you cannot just go back to the past. It is sabi nga ni Pope Francis, the church must move on. It must go forward. The question now that we should ask ourselves, are we clinging to old wineskins? Someone asked me after a mass, sabi niya, Father, next time siguro mas maganda kung tuturuan niyo yung mga tao to receive the Holy Communion kneeling or to receive the Holy Communion not in their hands. Kasi disrespectful. Medyo nagulat ako sa kanyang sinabi because yun naman yung custom natin ngayon to receive the Holy Communion depending upon your preference. Kung kamay o sa bibig. Sabi ko sa kanya, Sir, siguro let us leave it to them. Hayaan na po natin sila mag-decide. Ang sabi niya sa akin, you're still young. You're still young. So you do not understand me. I am Colonel blah 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 blah, etc. etc. And from that time on, he never came back to my mass. Blacklisted na ako sa kanya. Are we still clinging to old traditions? Sasabihin na, Father, mas maganda yung Latin Mass, mas solemn yung Latin Mass. So I prefer to attend Latin Mass. Ayaw ko ng Novus Ordo na yan, etc. So are we still clinging to old traditions? In spite of the call of Pope Francis that the church must move forward, must bring the gospel in different forms, in different ways, mas palapitin ang ebanghelyo sa mga tao. Paano mong papalapitin ang ebanghelyo kapag hindi naiintindihan ng mga tao ang iyong sinasabi? It is time to move forward. Are we holding to outdated ideas, practices, or even our prejudices that prevent us from fully experiencing the joy of the gospel? We can hold on to tradition, but it should not prevent us from truly experiencing the joy of knowing Christ, the joy of the gospel. Yes, we like our routines and traditions. However, Jesus wants us to let go of old habits that prevent us from living a life filled with joy, forgiveness, and most of all, love.